On New Year's, my niece posted a fake family emergency fundraiser using my daughter's name. It pulled in $26,000 overnight. When people demanded answers, my sister smirked, "Your kid's just a faker." Mom ordered me to make my daughter take the blame. I stayed calm. Then opened the payout details and saw whose bank account it really was. You know that gut punch moment when your whole world just tilts? Mine hit at 12:17 a.m. on New Year's, not with fireworks, but with a horrifying push alert: emergency fund for Ava. Urgent family crisis. It was my sweet daughter, Ava's, face in the thumbnail, but the headline twisted the knife: urgent medical emergency. Single mom can't cover it alone. Please donate and share. The photo, a candid shot of her in that oversized yellow beanie, holding a hot chocolate like a tiny trophy, a photo I never posted anywhere online. My sister, Tessa, must have plucked it straight from our private family album. I was standing in my mom's kitchen, still in my boots because the floor was a sticky mess from spilled Prosecco. Everyone else was yelling Happy New Year, like we were in some perfect commercial, but all I could do was stare at that link. Nora, my wife, saw my face. "What's that?" she asked. I just handed her the phone. She started reading the blurb, slow, like her brain couldn't process the words. Ava needs urgent help. Medical emergency. Single mom can't cover it alone. Then she looked at me, bewildered. "I'm right here, Max," she said. "And we have insurance." I opened the page. The donation counter was already ticking up like some twisted slot machine: $40, $75, $200. Refresh, $510. Comments poured in, praying for sweet Ava, "Hang in there, sis, just lost my job, but gave what I could." My niece, Bella, bounced into the kitchen, sparkler in hand, beaming. "Uncle Max, did you see my post? We're already at $600. This is gonna go viral." My stomach dropped. I wanted to smash the phone. But Ava, sweet, innocent Ava, tugged my sleeve. "Can I have another Sprite? You need to know a little about me to get why this hits so hard. I'm Max, 39, IT support lead in Cleveland. I drive a Subaru that's seen better days, and I'm juggling a mortgage that felt like a bad joke after I refinanced it at the worst possible time. I'm the guy who always has quarters for the laundromat, the quiet helper. My sister Tessa, on the other hand? She was always the golden child. When her AC died in July, Mom handed her $2,200, no questions asked, called it a love gift. When my car died on the highway at midnight, Mom asked if I'd tried turning it off and on again. Seriously. Tessa's wedding was a catered affair with signature drinks. Nora and I did a potluck to keep it low pressure, and Mom spent 2 hours complaining about what wouldn't travel well. When our dad bailed when I was 15, Mom rewrote the story so there were no villains. He had his reasons, she'd say, like we were reading a book with missing pages. From then on, I did the taxes, read the meter, patched the drywall. When Tessa overdrafted her college account, I moved money from my savings and drove 3 hours to show her how to set up alerts. When Mom's roof leaked, I rented a ladder, patched the shingles, and heated soup on a camp stove in her kitchen because the power was out. Helper things. Quiet things. No complaints, because complaining felt like adding weight to a backpack I'd already committed to carrying. Tessa learned a different lesson. She lives in a world where the cushion appears before she hits the ground. Her Instagram candle business never sold beyond sympathy purchases, but Mom called it entrepreneurship. She didn't pay city tax and called me crying when she got a $318 penalty. I drove to City Hall on my lunch break to sort it. My daily life was spreadsheets, oil changes, and a Costco card. I stopped asking for praise because it always seemed to just bounce off me. I don't need confetti. I just need fair. Money had been a sore spot since Thanksgiving. Mom asked me to spot her $800 for propane. I paid it online, told her it bought time. "We'll figure something out after the holidays," I said, because that's what helpers say when they're stalling. Then December hit, a delinquent mortgage notice. A red stamp. Urgent, $3,962.17 past due. I sat on her couch and did the math. She spends $140 a month on a landline, $85 on premium cable for Hallmark movies, and buys scratch-offs like they're vitamins. I suggested a budget. She nodded, then asked if I could order a replacement Keurig. So, when Tessa said on New Year's Eve, I had this idea, I guess I should have listened closer. The idea arrived live after midnight. Not in conversation, but as a donation page, with my child's name as the bait. The layout was slick, Bella's work. She's 19 and can make anything look like a branded campaign. They had a goal, $25,000. A heartfelt paragraph about our girl Ava. And a list of expenses that sounded official: hospital copay $2,800. Specialist consult $1,200. In-home support $4,600. Rent relief $3,800. Fuel winter $1,100. Miscellaneous pharmacies $640. Credit consolidation $7,200. It was like someone asked ChatGPT to make a crisis budget and then threw darts at numbers. At 12:29 a.m., my work phone buzzed with a fraud alert because people were sharing the page to neighborhood Facebook groups and tagging me. Prayers for Ava Max, one message read. Call if you need anything. Another, I donated $100. Hope she's okay. My cousin in Pittsburgh texted, so sorry to hear about the hospital. Can we visit? I messaged Bella, take the page down. Now. She replied with 3 crying emojis. Uncle Max, don't be like this. It's working. I stepped back into the living room, gripping the phone. Turn it off, I said to Tessa. She was on the couch, counting imaginary money. People want to help, I said. They want to help who they think they're helping. Nora put a hand on Ava's shoulder, steering her toward the den. Go see if Grandma has more popcorn, she said. Ava skipped away, oblivious. Tessa sighed. Fine, we'll update the wording. Chill. You can't update a lie into the truth, I shot back. Mom finally stood. Enough, she said. You're making a scene in my house. Your house is the scene, I said, and immediately regretted it, because I hate the taste of those kinds of words in my mouth. But the number on my screen rolled to $6,420, and the comments multiplied, and my chest felt like someone had velcroed a hot iron to it. I should have left. Instead, I stared at the phone and thought about my spreadsheet. Mortgage due on the 1st, $1,950. Car insurance on the 5th, $168. Ava's after-school STEM club, $80, due next Friday. January is a hungry month, and we had planned for regular hungry, not this. By 1:47 a.m., the page hit $12,200. A guy from my bowling league, Raul, gave $500. For your little one, he wrote. I closed my eyes. At 2:12 a.m., a woman I barely knew donated $2,000, saying her daughter did a lemonade stand for Ava. I scrolled her profile, realizing we'd met at a block party. She had photos of Ava. These were real people. At 3:05 a.m., with the house finally quiet, the total was $18,440. Lying awake on my old childhood bed, on that sad floral comforter, I thought about the $800 propane bill I'd paid for Mom weeks ago. Money, when it moves, feels like a current. You can swim with it, make it to shore, or you can stand still and pretend you won't get swept away. I promised myself 2 things: I wouldn't scream, and I would get proof. By New Year's Day morning, the total soared past $26,000. Nora was reading names out loud while we made pancakes. Your boss, Drew, $300. Mrs. Hardy, $50. Oh, and Michelle from church sent $1,000, for Ava's specialist. Specialist, I mumbled, burning another pancake. People started asking questions. My friend Malik texted, what hospital? I can swing by. My Aunt Liza messaged, why didn't you call us? We have an HSA we can share. Tessa, smelling a challenge like a shark smells blood, beat me to them. She replied in comments and DMs, Max asked for privacy. It's delicate. There's legal stuff. She made me look like some paranoid dad, hoarding suffering. Are you out of your mind? I demanded in the kitchen. She just snapped, don't talk to me like I'm stupid in front of my kid. And Bella, oblivious, just swiped to refresh, we should move the goal to $30,000. Momentum matters. Then the first crack appeared. Cousin Luke, the blunt one, the HVAC guy who thinks everything's a scam, commented publicly, which hospital? I know a billing manager, can negotiate copay. 20 minutes later, also, this says rent relief. Whose rent? Max owns. Tessa, from the Fundraiser account, replied, please stop harassing this family during a crisis. People liked her comment. Mom called me into the den. The Fundraiser was open on her ancient iPad. Don't ruin this, she said, not looking at me. Your sister is finally doing something useful. By lying about my kid? I shot back. We're one family. Money is money, she replied, her voice flat. Then ask for help honestly, I said. She peered over her readers. People don't give for old women behind on bills, Max. They give for children. That sad, practical tone, like she was discussing grocery prices. That's when I made my move. I opened a new tab, created an account, and found that about the admin section. It wasn't visible unless you were logged in. Then, the little link at the bottom, View Payouts. I clicked it. Bella squeaked from the doorway, Uncle Max, what are you doing? I think she saw my face. Where does the money go? I asked. Grandma's, duh, she said. How do you know? You just set a bank account, she explained. It pays out automatically in 2 to 3 business days. Who told you that? She bit her lip. Me and Mom. Grandma approved. What bank? I pressed, and she froze, realizing she'd said too much. I walked back into the living room, using that calm, steady voice I reserve for VPs yelling about unplugged printers. Tessa, I said, open the payout settings. Now. She laughed, a humorless sound. Max, don't be a buzzkill. Mom appeared behind her, like a stage manager. Make your daughter take the blame and pay it back, she told me, like I was ordering from a menu. Say she misunderstood. Nora shook her head slightly, not no, not yes, just stay steady. I didn't scream. I just held out my hand. Phone, I said. I am not a child, Tessa snapped. I know, I replied. That's why you can open the settings. Everyone drifted towards us, drawn by the tension. Luke slipped in through the back. Tessa finally jabbed at her phone, opened the app, tapped edit, then payouts. And there it was, the tiny line that changed everything, linked bank account, Grandma's account. Account holder, Marlene Carter, my mother's name. Underneath, organizer, my niece, admin, my sister. I didn't say, I knew it. I didn't say anything at all. I just tilted the phone so Mom could see. She didn't flinch. It's my house, she said, as if we were playing Monopoly, not dealing with my daughter's integrity. Luke barked a laugh. Oh, this is rich. You used the kid as a hook to pay off your cable. It's propane, Mom corrected, offended. And the mortgage. Say hospital again, Luke dared her. I dare you. Tessa squared her shoulders, a mean little smile spreading. Guess your kid is a little faker, she sneered at me. She told everyone she had a tummy ache at the Christmas play. This is what happens when you perform. Nora gasped. I didn't look at her. My eyes stayed on that tiny line of text, my mother's name next to those masked digits. And I heard myself say, okay. A calm okay. The kind you say before you put on your coat and walk out into the snow. That calm okay wasn't surrender. It was a breaking point. At 6:11 p.m., I opened my own bank app, took screenshots. At 6:14, I texted Drew, my boss, apologizing for any family thing confusion and asking him not to donate more. He replied, got it. Hey, you're good. That little message, from an unexpected corner, steadied me. I sat at Mom's kitchen table, using a Speedway receipt, and made a list, screenshot of payout settings. Screenshot of the fake medical claims. Screenshot of Ava in the title. Total and timestamp. Short statement. No essays. The platform sent an auto-update, you're trending. Total, $27,140. It was like watching a bruise spread. By 6:45, I gathered the few people who needed to hear this. Mom, Tessa, Bella, Luke, and Liza, and Nora beside me, holding our sleeping Ava. I'm going to say this once, I stated, my voice steady, and then I'm going to take action. Tessa smirked, whispering to Bella, he's making a speech. I held up the phone, airplaying it to Mom's TV. The big screen filled with the fundraiser page. I clicked about, then payouts, zooming in. The room went silent. You could hear someone swallow. The proof was simple. One line of text. A name no one could argue didn't belong to my mother. Bella whispered, Uncle Max, like I was betraying her. Then I cycled through the urgent hospitalization, specialist claims. Ava's photo. The $27,140 total. Luke let out a low whistle. Aunt Liza put a hand over her mouth. Tessa tried one last time. You know what? People give for lots of reasons. Rent is health. Heat is health. It's not a court of law. Exactly right, I said. And this isn't a court. It's simpler. I opened the platform's help page, read aloud the terms, misrepresentation violates terms. Organizers must refund. Platform may suspend payouts and reverse funds. Then I hit report. I selected fraud/misleading. My summary, organizer used child's name and image. Claimed hospitalization that did not occur. Linked payout to grandmother's account for bills. I am the father of the child named. Attached the screenshots. Tapped submit. Tessa lunged. No, no, no. You're going to make it worse. Nora, finally speaking, her voice soft but firm, it already is worse. Within 2 minutes, the email, we've temporarily paused withdrawals while we investigate. That was the system responding. Tessa hissed at Bella, why did you say Grandma's bank? Bella's chin wobbled. You said it was fine. Then my phone buzzed. A Cash App notification. Michelle, the woman who loved Ava's lemonade stand, had sent $1,200 directly to Mom. I didn't screenshot it. It wasn't mine to take. But I saw that name, that amount, and thought of her kindness. Turn off your notifications, I told Mom. Right now. You don't tell me what to do in my house, she flashed. I took a deep breath. I'm not going to argue. Here's what will happen next. And I listed the steps I could control, removing Ava's photo from the shared album, emailing personal contacts who donated, asking the platform to reroute funds, texting the family group a statement, blocking them from any accounts with Ava's images. Mom's eyes flashed, don't you dare cut me off from my granddaughter. Being a grandmother, I said quietly, is not a login. Tessa pointed a finger. If you post about this, I will say your daughter lied. Nora stepped forward, standing shoulder to shoulder with me. Say it, she challenged. Come on. Say it out loud right now. Tessa clamped her mouth shut. The room hummed. Then Aunt Liza, who never takes sides, looked at my mother and said, this is wrong. And those 3 words loosened something in my spine I'd been clenching for 2 decades. I turned off the TV. We're leaving, I said. We're taking Ava home. Don't, Mom's voice was small for once. It's late. Roads are icy. We'll go slow, I said. I zipped Ava into her puffer, carried her to the Subaru. She woke just enough to whisper midnight was sparkly, then fell back asleep. On the way home, I dictated a text to Nora, and she typed it, because my hands wouldn't stop shaking. It was simple, direct, New Year's update. The fundraiser uses Ava's name and says she's hospitalized. She's not. The payout was linked to my mother's account with my sister as admin. I've reported it and the platform paused withdrawals. If you donated, you can request a refund here. If you sent money directly to my mom, ask her directly for a refund. We did not authorize that. We love you. Please don't send money to anything with Ava's name unless it comes from me or Nora. Max. We hit send. We drove in silence, the kind that feels like clean air after a long, suffocating party. The next 72 hours were a slow-motion undoing, with receipts. Emails from the platform confirming suspension, then violation. Donors getting their refunds. My boss, Michelle, Emma's mom, they all understood. Tessa posted, tried to do good. Family tore me down. Mom left an angry voicemail, you made a mess. I ignored it all. Proof, I learned, quiets noise. A screenshot that says linked bank account, Marlene Carter next to urgent hospitalization and my kid's face. That's all the proof I needed. Refunds rolled. Michelle still brought cupcakes. Bella, my niece, came to me, Grandma's mad I told you. I know, I said gently. That's why adults have to. She sent me a crying emoji and a heart. My Aunt Liza told me Mom was now saying I told Ava to lie about a tummy ache at the Christmas play. I just laughed. The lie was 3 candy canes. I wrote down my new boundaries like code, no more shared albums. No more letting Mom use my Apple ID. No spot me unless it fits my budget and I pay directly. Anyone who uses Ava's image for money loses access. No calls after 9 p.m. 1 or 2 sentence statements, then silence. I slept hard that night. The blowback kept coming, Mom's honor your mother and father posts, Tessa's toxic people play victim. But it was just noise. The fundraiser eventually went to unavailable. I'm not holding a grudge. I'm holding a line. I'm still the quiet helper. But I am not a resource to be exploited. Not anymore.